Hello. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my last video. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity that I had to interact with the people that commented. That was a real joy for me, and I'm glad that you guys got something out of it. Today I'm just going to talk about a concept which is kind of obscure, and it's something that's just a part of our everyday life that I think most of us don't think of, and that is authority. And I thought, ooh, let me wear my cute outfit. Hopefully none of you are being triggered by my outfit. If you are, I would ask you to think about why. It's just a dress and it's cute. Anyway, so authority, yeah, that concept, it's everywhere, and it's something that we don't think about. And it reminds me of that story of, or it's like a little vignette about the older fish who's swimming towards two younger fish. And he says to them, "Good morning, boys, how's the water?" And they look at him baffled, like, what's water, right? Authority, in my mind, is one of those kind of concepts that is swirling all around us, and we're kind of going with the flow. But how many of us are really taking time to think about it? Although, if I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking that there are probably more people thinking about it, especially with all the craziness that's going on in the world, in case you hadn't noticed. Yeah. Of course you noticed. So this is more kind of to ask you and to see, like, what are you thinking about authority? I mean, one of the most prevalent narratives I think that I've heard lately is, if this person had not resisted, then they wouldn't have gotten this beating or killing. That's one of the ways that authority is kind of playing out in our society. And of course we have this goofy ass election where we have these two choices, I guess, of candidates. And then you have the news kind of telling you or steering you, the media generally, steering you a certain way. And again, I'm really concerned because, you know, I'm an internet junkie, probably like most of you are too, about the comments that I read, and people are kind of just, you know, going with whatever direction that they think, it's basically whatever direction suits their own internal narrative. I'm sure everybody is familiar with the term cognitive dissonance, and really you can see in the comments the links that people will go to avoid experiencing that. Even if they're presented with the facts, then they're just going to go ahead and go with their own idea. So again, on the authority idea, so basically, who is an authority, right? And how do they get to that place? We have doctors, lawyers, teachers, parents. My favorite thing too with doctors, again, that started making me think about it, because my parents, I've heard them say, or I've heard lots of people say, the doctor said, you know, as if there's no other possibility. Or people use in arguments, scientists say. This is not the be-all, end-all in knowledge. And I recognize that, you know, we need authority to a certain extent, not just to police the environment, or because I think the common idea too is if we didn't have authority, you know, it's just going to be chaos. It's not either or. Right. And I also recognize that authority can be very convenient. It's nice to be able to go to somebody who has more specialized knowledge than you. You go to your doctor, you know, he spent these years in school, but your doctor in all likelihood didn't have any nutritional training. So your doctor might also be receiving some kind of kickback or vacation from a pharmaceutical company. Your doctor, again, maybe is just not the healthiest person, and he's human. He has his own kind of ideas about what you should be doing or what you should not be doing that may run contrary to commonly held beliefs, or maybe he's just not as educated. And we can say this for every group that I mentioned. So I just think it's fascinating, right? And even for me, I think about the things that I see, like in the news, when you see the stories in the news now, mostly online, but here's what you need to know. So who decided what I need to know out of the story? Again, we're starting to rely on these things for convenience, and then those become our authority figures, because it is a source of authority, right? You're trusting that this person somehow has a better insight than you do, maybe just because you don't have time. But we cannot fall back into not questioning or understanding or critical thinking. Really, that's what it is. I'm asking and I'm wondering, again, generally just about how people look at authority. Oh, another good example too, because I'm just using all this generally when I see these people that, oh, I lost 20 pounds and now I'm a YouTube, internet guru on losing weight. Yeah, there's so many examples of that, right? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and I'm certainly not even now saying I'm an authority figure. Again, I'm just throwing this out as something that I think is interesting for people to think about. Was there another point that I wanted to make? Yes. So, are you guys familiar with the Milgram experiment? It's basically where authority was conferred upon a group of people in an experiment, as it says, and they were told to give shocks to their fellow experimentee. And I think the idea was that these people wouldn't possibly go above and beyond, a certain threshold of pain, or applying these shocks to the people as they were instructed to do. But again, because this authority figure, you should Google this, I'm not explaining it very well, or DuckDuckGo it. I just learned about DuckDuckGo, an alternative search engine. Anyway, look it up, because these everyday people, when they were given a position of authority, just went crazy, basically, with it, administering shocks like far beyond, even if they could see the person cringing or whatever. It's just, I just think it's all very interesting, and it's something worth considering and thinking about. Again, where did you develop your ideas of authority? Would you be the type of person, because everyone says no, that would do something that goes against your morals or values just because you were instructed by an authority figure? Of course, the Holocaust is another perfect example of that, as is more recently Abu Ghraib. Like, I hate to think about what's happening in other parts of the world under the guise of authority, because people aren't, maybe they don't have the fortitude. I'm not sure if that's the right word in this situation. The courage, I don't know, the values, the humanity to just say, no, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I think I pretty much covered what I wanted to cover as far as a concept. I am really curious, though. I would love to be able to have more of an exchange with people about your ideas of authority, and maybe even comment on some of the things that I said. So that is all for now. I hope you guys are well, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.